I'm Zeke.
And you're listening to Unsought Opinions.
You're listening to Unsought Opinions.
Guys, the game that we just watched might be the greatest game that we've watched in at least 12 years.
I flat out hugged Pete.
Yeah,
It was for a while.
I did not like that. There was a moment when you guys were hugging. And
I don't know that I want that on a recording. That I hugged Pete and he didn't like it.
there was a group hug happening, and I'm not sure how I felt about it.
At one point,
No, dude, that
there was a group hug
I was
happening.
just trying to like shake people's hands and give them knucks, but
And that was another thing, Pete.
I got hugged.
About you not liking it. I finished hugging you, and then I turned to hug the boys, and then you hugged on the backside of me.
oh,
So you were in for it.
What is
That's how I was
happening?
my favorite thing though is Ben gets this high pitch, like celebration.
Oh, they know the laugh.
I did not.
At one point, I just want to say, we were hugging, and then I felt Jason in my back, like kind of trying to push into it. So you say you don't like the group hug,
No,
but
that-
I felt...
To be honest, I was like in it. It was like a sandwich. I was being pushed into
Okay,
you.
so... Okay.
Can I tell you what I think happened? I think all four of us loved the group hug, but only two of us are manly enough to admit that we liked it.
I was in. I was sold.
I was into, dude. I was so happy about the finish of that game.
It was...
To be clear, we're talking about the Washington-Philly game that just took place today on the 22nd of
Yeah,
December.
we're recording the podcast late this week, but it's to
Little
get it to you guys as a live reaction to the greatest game in at least 12 years. Peter,
Wow.
you were 8 months old when the magic of RG3 happened. So this is probably the greatest game that you've ever watched. Give us your breakdown, your reaction.
My reaction at this game.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, Wolf, when you were 8 years old. Come on. I mean, 8 months.
Well, I didn't think Jaden Daniels was doing his best. I thought he was doing a lot better in different games. Like he threw, I don't know, at least one pick.
Two.
Okay. And he was also overthrew a couple players. I feel like he was out of his game today, but he could do better next time.
He also had 5 touchdown passes.
Yeah.
Let's not forget
How
about
many-
the good things he did.
How many
Yeah.
yards did he have? Do you know?
It was close to 3, but I don't think it was quite 3.
Okay.
Also,
Well,
welcome to Unsought Opinions, and we've got our buddy Jace, who you all have heard us reference many times.
Talk about too
probably.
much.
Probably too much, yeah.
Hello, everyone. It's
Yeah.
nice to be here.
And then Pete, obviously, fans know Pete.
Yo.
Yeah. So, and Steve, and then me.
Yeah. Luke can't be here because he was actually at the greatest game in 12 years, and Dan is just being lame. So he's
Yeah.
not here.
Dan's getting work done. It's hard to fault him for that.
Yeah, I guess so.
But Steve, how was your week?
Dude. My week's good.
Yeah.
My week's good. Yeah, it was a lot of... We had 2 basketball games, and then, just trying to get things going for Christmas, last minute shopping and everything. I need to replace the brakes on my truck. And the Redskins just played the greatest game. Commanders in 12 years. Oh my gosh, it was so fun. I enjoyed it.
But really, was it the greatest game? I mean, it was a good
It was a
ending,
crazy finish.
but Jalen Hurts was hurt, so
Jalen was hurt.
it wasn't really.
Yeah, but they penalized us unfairly several times, which sort of evened.
And there were like 5 turnovers.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, we gave them
Bunch of
as
fumbles.
much back as they lost when they lost Jalen.
I don't know about that.
No.
So there's enough question that it makes when we play them in the playoffs, which we cemented basically. That, dude. All right, let me lay this scenario out to you. Okay, Green Bay loses, right? We overtake them in the standings, so we play Tampa Bay. Eagles play Green Bay. We meet Green Bay in the NFC Championship. We won 1, they won 1. Both of the
dude, you need like a whiteboard. I'm losing it.
Okay, so point is, if we overtake Green Bay, if we have a chance of playing Philly in the NFC Championship for the Super Bowl. We won 1 when their quarterback was injured. They won 1 when our quarterback was injured. Who's going to win when
Dude,
everyone's...
that's a real thing. Is Jaden was hurt for like four weeks or
they
something.
couldn't do anything
Yeah,
the first game.
It's very true.
It's going to... I mean, I'm not saying that we're going to make it to the NFC Championship, but the way that it's all lined up, if we overtake Green Bay, in the seeding, we could play Philly in the NFC Championship, which would be insane.
It's crazy to play the same team 3 times in 1 year.
Yeah. But that's like in the 80s when everyone talks about the glory days against us and the Cowboys and everything. We were playing the Cowboys 3 times a year in the playoffs, like NFC championships and stuff.
How are the Cowboys doing this year?
Isn't it frustrating though that the Cowboys, like, we hate the Cowboys. Like, they're our nemesis. Like, we hate them.
Correct.
There's a huge rivalry, but the Cowboys don't feel the same way about the Commanders.
Are you serious?
It's unrequited love, yeah, for
No,
sure.
they don't care.
Are you serious?
Totally serious.
Who do
All
you-
the Cowboys fans I know always talk mad trash about
That's because they live here. But like
Wow.
nationally,
I had
it's like
no
we
idea.
hate the Cowboys, and
We've
they're
been-
like, whatever.
We've been irrelevant for the last 30 years. So
Yeah.
if you ask the Cowboys, they don't like the Eagles.
Does it shape you
That
as a
makes
fan of like rooting for a team, of like who you are? Is if you can handle rooting for a team as bad as the Commanders have been, versus like somebody who has been a Chiefs fan or something.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it is. It kind of shapes me, and then like I'm okay with average teams and excited, and then I get really excited for 10-5. But like I heard on Eagles radio, they were all upset about they've won like 10 games,
Yeah.
and they were all upset about like some the passing game wasn't working or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Infighting and all that and stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, I truly think the Eagles are like paper tiger. They're a really good team. They're probably the most stacked team.
They're crazy.
But there is so much like infighting and behind closed doors things that you hear coming out of Philly that like the coach is at odds with the team, or the team's at odds with themselves, or the coach is at odds with the fans and all this stuff. Like,
So would you say it's a misnomer that it's the city of brotherly love?
I would say that that's a misnomer at this point in time.
Interesting.
When Andy Reid was the coach, dude, it was brotherly love everywhere.
Was it really?
No, they throw batteries at
see it.
Santa. Peter, who is your least favorite team in the NFL?
Least favorite. Probably Cowboys. I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cowboys.
Yeah.
Is that only because I have raised you that way?
Probably.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
I will say this about sports in general, but specifically football, I guess. Peter knows way more about what's happening with our team than I do, and I think it's because of you.
I'll take that as a
Who's a
badge.
bigger fan, Peter or you?
Dude, I am 100%.
Steve might be entering into super fan status if he's not careful.
My favorite thing, and maybe these podcast listeners, Unsaudis.
Podcast listener.
Unsaudis.
Sorry for
Maybe
the early
the
correction.
Unsaudis out there know.
Unsaudi.
But Steve will listen to the other team's like radio and podcasts before a game to see what they're saying about the Commanders.
Is that true?
That's intense.
So that only happens like at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
When I'm like, there's not a lot to listen to, and so I'm way into it. I haven't done that since probably week 1.
You can be honest. It's okay.
Maybe week 2. Gonna be real. Okay, I can do it. No, no, for real.
There it is.
But yeah, dude, I'm way too into it. He's a much bigger fan, Peter. I'm talking about at fantasy than I am. Like he probably knows what's happening in the league better than I do. But
that's interesting.
I'm deep and narrow about the Skins.
I feel like every week you guys have to remind me which position quarterback is. That's sort of with the level I'm on right now.
Yeah.
I just want to go back to who's your least favorite team. I want to switch prior to the Chiefs. I don't like the Chiefs at all. Probably because of Taylor Swift.
Is that
And-
what?
and Kelsey? I don't like it.
You don't like Kelsey?
Your sister's
No,
gonna be very
Kelsey's
upset.
fine. I don't.
Oh,
like
just
Taylor
the really.
Swift.
Okay. That's wild because people are hating on the Chiefs, like the Patriots status. No, they're just
Honestly,
too good.
it makes sense. But go ahead.
I still love Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid and his
Obviously.
or what was it? Bundle Rooski
Bundle
commercial.
Rooski.
He's so funny.
State Farm.
I have not gotten tired of them yet. Just how great they are and what they're doing and stuff. I haven't.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, no, for some reason, I still like the Chiefs. I never hated the Patriots either. What teams do I hate? I hate the Cowboys, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I hate teams because of fans. So the Eagles, like, you see their fans, and it makes you. I mean, no offense to my Eagles fans.
Yeah, I was going to say,
friends
this
out
is
there.
really going to damage
all
our
right.
Philadelphia demographic. Sheesh.
Okay, maybe just football fans.
That's
in
where the
general.
Unsaudi is.
If you see, if you, that's where he is.
Unless
If-
he's using a VPN. We don't know.
if you see certain fans, You watch them and you're like, man, they are so into the game, it's embarrassing. And then I look at, that's kind of like a mirror reflection on me. Am I that guy to like an Eagles fan? Or, I'm careful to not be mega fan mode. Because then it's like your life becomes the game, and it's like as high as we are right now.
Yes.
It's like, what if we were all low? And it's like, it's just a dumb game.
But
is
right
it more
now
than
it's
that?
not,
I
though.
mean, right now because we won.
Right.
But what if we lost? Like, where would we be?
You mean it would be exactly like me being between 2012 and 2024.
Dude, it was funny.
I was as low as I could be.
we
Not even
lost
much.
to the Cowboys, and immediately after that, I had to do home church and lead worship and all this stuff. And I had to be honest with them because it was like Terry McLaurin finally got to his like 100-yard touchdown or whatever, and then we missed the extra point and we lose to the Cowboys, and all that's happening. And people at the church is already over at my house. We're all waiting for the game to end so we can start church, and all that just dropped out. And I was like, guys, I'm going to be honest, this is going to be a struggle.
I think it's a sign of like a mature fan. And this is where I'm at, is when we win, I'm going to ride that high. And it's a little embarrassing how excited I am. Like, you guys are group hugging. Ben's doing his high pitch, like, shout celebration. I love it. It's fine. Hold on. But
This is the last time Jason comes
let me
on the
roll
pod.
on this, okay?
Yeah, dude.
So, listen. So, we're celebrating, and it's awesome. And then if we lose, I just, like, be like, you know what? It's just football. It doesn't matter. But when we win, it does matter. Right? Does that make sense?
100%. That's literally how I feel.
I feel like that's a good spot because back in the day, I feel like we all went through that where it's like you're so excited about the win, and then when we lose, it's like this week sucks, right? Am I the only one that?
I probably take 24 hours to like revert, or maybe by Monday I'm fine, but by like right after. So
No,
like
I'm not
today,
talking about like now. I'm talking about like when I was like 14 and like a mega fan.
Yeah.
Oh, like when RG3 was around or something. I don't know,
yeah,
but it's just a thought.
maybe. I think that I'm too much of a fan. It's like a vice for me, but I'm pumped that you're not there. So like when 2 minutes left and Jaden throws an interception and we're like, that's the end of the game. My 2-year-old came up and said, "Dad, come on and look what I did." And I'm like watching the game and I'm like heartbroken and I'm like, okay, just got to put that aside and go look at what he threw a ball at a target and got it stuck. And I was like, okay, well, this is kind of helpful. And then we came back and won, and it was the greatest. No,
Now you don't even remember where he hit the target.
I don't even care about a target. Wow. I don't even, or my son. Just kidding. I love my sons.
Pete had a genuine reaction to that.
All right, so let's close the book on the game.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
Unbelievable.
Great game.
We have not talked about these lights in the sky.
The drones.
Drone apocalypse.
What's happening?
Drones.
I have it on pretty good authority, though, that there's really nothing to worry about. But I can't talk about it beyond that.
It's nothing to worry about. Okay.
I'm taking that really from the Rogan podcast where he talked to Ryan Graves, and Ryan Graves was like, yeah, they're probably not looking for a nuke that got lost in Ukraine.
Wait, is that a thing?
Yeah, apparently that was like a big thing going on, and somewhere in the internet probably. People were worried that this nuke that went missing in Ukraine was ending up on the east coast of the United States, and that these drones were looking for gamma radiation.
So they were our drones, and we're looking to see if they've planted a bomb.
That's what the theory was. But Ryan Graves, I think that's his name. He was saying that he knows the people who would be on that task force, and they're not working on that. So that means that can't be what they're doing.
Interesting. Do you think the drones are ours?
I
Let's lay out.
honestly don't know.
Let's lay out the possibilities. Okay, they're our drones.
Yeah.
They're someone else's drones that are spying on us or doing
Right.
something nefarious. They are AI starting to take over the world, or they're aliens.
Well, what's interesting is the idea that they're flying for hours, which is already impressive, and then they're flying back out to sea and landing on a ship that we don't have on any radars. Right? I mean, or they're going into the water. So I don't know what's happening.
I
don't
feel
know
like
what
there's
that even
two
leads
different
to.
categories of these UFOs or of these drones, right?
Yeah,
There's
we'll
the
talk
ones,
about
and you guys are going to know more on this than I will. Anyway, like that video that we just watched that
Right.
Rogan posted. Yeah. But like there's the ones that have like the green, red, white blinking lights. right? That's like one of the drones. And then there's another one that's like this bright orb light in the sky, right? We've seen some of those videos.
Yeah.
Those are like two different categories, right?
Yeah, they
like the
kinda are.
ones that are the green, red, blinking lights, totally not the enemy, because why would the enemy turn those lights on? Like, wouldn't they?
Right.
If it was some other country, wouldn't they just turn those lights off? But I feel like they are. I don't know what they're doing, but I think it's U.S. government, like for sure.
Yeah, me
But like,
too.
why do they come out just at night? That's really weird, and it's kind of scary that there can be so many of them flying around at the same time or whatever. Or we're all just getting tricked, and these are actually just airplanes that are flying really low and looks weird on a cell phone, right?
I don't think. I don't
But
think
the
that's-
orb ones
I don't
are
think that's possible. 'Cause- no, and I say that because
Misidentification
I
is not
say
a
that
thing.
because they're like government officials, like at least mayors and maybe a
Yeah,
governor
no,
too,
that's true.
have watched like 60 of them come up off the ocean,
Yeah,
and so that's unusual.
yeah.
The Rhode Island guy, or was it Delaware?
Yeah,
One of
something
them?
like that. Yeah, somewhere up there.
Do you know what we're talking about? Is there any in the middle school realm? Is anyone talking about drones?
Not really.
Okay.
They're nothing to worry about.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't look into it.
Dude,
That's
I was
fine.
telling Brittany the other day that it would be really cool. I feel like back in the day when these drones were up in New Jersey, I feel like it would have been really cool. Like, this is something we would have done before.
Do you mean back in the day, like a week and a half
I
ago?
mean, no, I mean like 10 years ago. It would have been like, dude, let's go up and find those things.
Yeah.
Like, I want to go up to New Jersey and see these drones.
Yeah.
Back when it was like kind of more like what's happening. Now I feel like people are more accepting. It's probably the government, right? Is that where you're at?
I think so because of what you're saying about them not really trying to hide it, and also we haven't blasted them out of the sky yet.
And the lights are like FAA regulation.
Right.
So what's that about?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure there are a bunch of copycat stuff going on as well. But I saw a video of one. It was like next to, there was like two together, and one was like bigger than the other one, and there was like 6 in the sky, and then they started like dropping out, and, like crashing to the ground type deal, and one stayed, and then there was only 2 left, and then the second one like just exploded, like fireball like exploded in midair.
Did it get shot?
That's what
Like what
like
would
it looked
cause
like
that?
the first one was like shooting things and dropping all these drones, and then the last one it hit it and it just like exploded.
Dude, are we being tricked by like AI videos now?
Very
Like, is that a
possible.
real thing? That's
Dude,
crazy.
Every time I see a video of like somebody making a speech or something, I always have to like try to do a deep dive to find out if it's fake or not.
Whenever I hear
It's killing
videos
me.
like that, I got to look for fingers. Like you look at the hands. The hands always
Yeah, have you
that's a
seen
good
like
point.
the AI
Yeah.
do gymnastics?
no.
It's the funniest thing. It's like those AI videos. I don't know, these like game generation AI
Yeah.
type video things. And it's like they can't do gymnastics. It's so funny.
Oh,
They can
really?
do tons of stuff, but like gymnastics, it's like, well, I have no idea. It's terrible. So it is like looking at the fingers of
yeah.
those AI pictures. Like they never get those right.
They'll get like the guy will have only 3 fingers on one hand, and it's always the tell. Like for some reason AI can't do fingers.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I guess the jury's still out on the drones.
Yeah, but okay, so to circle back, those ones that have like the orbs and the lights, I don't know, man. That stuff's crazy. I don't really know. Actually, I heard man, what's that guy's name? Tucker Carlson talk about these being like spiritual, and I don't. Yeah, dude, this is why I didn't want to be on.
Chase, you're listening to Tucker
Just
Carlson?
listen for 1 second.
Brother, we
Okay,
can pray for you.
Okay, so but he was talking about these UFO things because I'm 100% out on aliens. I'm 99% out on aliens. 99%.
There's a reason you're not on this podcast. It's like-
No, there's still a percent. But no, but this is you
Okay.
guys would find this interesting.
I'm in.
It's like I think it's more spiritual stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't mean to go down that rabbit hole because that's a deep scary
I mean, that's
one.
what we do a lot here is like, I think in Christendom, the alien thing is getting more and more accepted because of thinking it's like demonic or angelic or something like that. Like it's becoming more of like in mainstream, people are saying aliens could be more extra dimensional and things like that. And then if you look at the alien realm, the unseen realm, things like that, like that is essentially what demons and angels are, is extra dimensional entities that come into our realm and stuff. So it's like you have a lot of these Christians that are like Sasquatch or the Mothman or aliens or all these things that are tying it into spirituality and things like that, where it's extra dimensionality or whatever it is could still be a thing, but it's like the heavenly realm entering into our realm and the two different worlds and stuff like
The
that.
veil's
So,
too thin there.
something's happening, dude. 2027, it's the end of the world.
Is that true?
We've talked about this.
Is that that thing with the?
Jesus was born in 6 or 7 AD or BC, so then he actually died in 27 AD. So 2,000 years after he died is 2027. 7 years of tribulation started at 2020. The world is ending.
Is this the thing that links into?
Dude, you guys are crazy.
The red heifer
Israel
and all that.
Prime Minister
Yep.
guy.
Yeah, dude. It's all.
Where,
no,
where are
it's
you getting
separate
your
things.
information from?
Dude, it's
He
too
makes
much.
it up. He's thinking makes this up, and then he tells it to us, and we're like, "That makes so much sense," and it doesn't make any sense.
No. Dude, so I got convicted this week because I was listening to a message and he was saying about like, don't let yourself get tied into the conspiracies of the day or whatever. In some scripture
Who
says
said
it.
that? The United States government.
Exactly. Everything is fine.
Yeah.
That's our government. That's what they sound like.
Yeah. Is that Vladimir Putin said that one? I don't know.
Is that not our government? No.
No, it's the incoming government.
Right. So anyway, I was a little bit convicted by that, and it's like, okay, well, I don't think that I think the world is actually going to end in 2027, but it's fun to like try and be like, oh, dude, it's like it's all tied
Why is that fun?
because I don't actually believe it.
Yeah.
Like you're never going to be an adult. Enjoy that.
Yeah,
Sorry, kid.
Sounds great.
Yeah, dude. So to like every year, I feel like it gets more and more kind of scary. Like you're saying, end of year, end of times, 2027. Do you feel like going back every 50 years that every like parent or whatever was kind of nervous about the future? Like, is that just always a thing? Does that make sense?
I think so. 100% since the Industrial Revolution, because
Everything's taken off.
it's
so
taken off so
fast.
fast. Before that, it was like you'd go 150 years and nothing really changed.
And
You
is
know-
it getting faster? I mean, AI is like the newest.
Yeah, yeah. Especially with the technology age, like the 90s, it's just grown exponentially. Like think about every old person that like doesn't know how to tweet. Or you laugh at them, but there was never that kind of like generation to generation advancement in technology and society and stuff that you have to keep up that quickly. I don't know
Yeah,
the
dude.
word
And
meant
I
for
feel
it.
like going back to drones, I feel like drones are, we're just going to see that more and more and more. Like I've been seeing stuff like there's not even going to be fighter jets. Like
Yeah,
that's going to
yeah.
happen soon.
Yeah.
That like drones are going to replace fighter jets.
Well, wasn't there like weren't they doing like AI powered dog fights, and AI won like 100% of the time? The humans couldn't even. Stand
Yeah,
up
no,
to
I,
it.
I did see
That's
that.
insane.
Yeah,
that is crazy.
I think that's very close.
Did you ever read the book Ender's Game or watch the movie?
Let me stop you there.
Okay.
Ask me if I've ever read a book.
Anyway, it was like these kids that were like drafted to like be these elite gamers and stuff in space or whatever. So they're like, all these kids are going through playing these virtual reality games and stuff and getting better and better at it. And you're like Space Invader things. And then by the end of the book, spoiler alert, if you're going to read it, it's all true. And these kids are, because the child's mind is like so malleable and adaptable and stuff, they were the drone pilots that the U.S. was like going to all these different
No
aliens and
way,
stuff and
that's
was like
genius.
wiping out these civilizations and everything that these kids were doing. They had no idea.
That's a good idea for a book.
Someone should write it.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, it's like drone warfare is going to be, it's the new thing.
I'm glad though, because like if it's just drones killing each other,
Yeah,
a lot less human life lost.
no,
hopefully.
I mean, yeah, think about it if
Yeah.
like it got bad and they're going to be like, I don't want to be all negative and scary, but like 1,000 drones coming at you at once or something, like that's terrifying.
have you
and
seen
have you
those
seen the
swarms?
stuff in
Yeah,
China
I was gonna say.
where they're doing it as like art and it's
Yeah.
amazing? But like, what if they flip the script and like that was now warfare?
That's Japan,
It's
isn't it?
terrifying.
Not China?
Oh, I thought it was China. I've only ever heard it as China, but it's very possible that I've been hearing it.
I think it's kind of all around. But
Yeah.
yeah.
It's not
like they do
us.
in the U.S. and like we think it's cool, but you see those videos
And it's like, dude,
insane.
we're it's nowhere near is what we got. I mean, what they have. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's to say, do you know, or do you think that, how close are we to having drones that we can just get in and go to work? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm
That's a good
losing you on
question.
that. What do you mean, like a drone? You get in
Like a
and
flying
go to
car,
work?
basically, but it's a drone, like a quadcopter.
Why do you have to get in it?
Because you got to go to work.
that
Remote
place.
work. What are we doing? Why are we getting in a drone?
Everybody's going
like,
back
and
to
what
work.
job are we doing?
Okay. Do you think that vehicles will turn to drones, and how soon?
Yeah, I think they will.
Assuming
Right?
that your answer
I
is
think they
yes.
will. I don't know, but because you're seeing it now, they have these like
The ones that are size of
They
SUVs.
literally look like it's just a drone. It's just someone sitting on it.
Yeah.
And
the
then,
drones that they're seeing are the size of cars.
The size of SUVs, yeah.
Yeah.
And that they can already deliver packages in high.
and they're gonna be able to make them cheap too. I mean, it's not
Right.
a ton of.
Yeah, it might not even be as expensive as a car.
Yeah, it might be
Dude.
cheaper.
When Peter's our age, I think there will be more drones than cars.
How many people are going to get chopped up by the propellers?
They'll have the cattle or the
Yeah,
bird
sure
guard
they
on 'em.
will. The nice ones will.
Not for the poor people.
like the Toyota Corolla equivalent of.
Can
a
you
drone.
imagine? Like, we won't have any more birds. Just like,
Dude, you said that way too serious.
I'm dead serious,
Wait,
dude.
you think that we're gonna chop up birds?
We're
with
gonna
these
chop
drones?
up
Dude,
birds.
you wanna
'cause
know
drones-
why he's
Let me tell you
probably
something.
right?
Because I've already almost hit like 6 birds.
Dude,
in
I
that
had birds
giant
attack my
slow.
drone. Sorry.
That giant slow plane. I've had to avoid birds several times, and I've only flown a couple of times, and I only have one prop, and it's slow. You get
You only
cars
have
and
one
stuff.
Prop? It's a drone or a helicopter?
No, it's the plane that I fly.
Oh, that's terrifying, by the way.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, but wouldn't you think right now we're flying planes all the time? Like, wouldn't that be chopping up all the birds?
All the
birds
planes
just-
are super
Yeah,
high,
but-
dude.
but
And you're
every-
talking
but
still take
thousands
off.
and thousands and thousands and thousands of more.
Every person's going to have
Yeah, but they're
a drone.
tiny.
And they're going up and down, up
Yeah,
and
no,
down.
I mean, I'm just arguing against it, but
Yeah, it's a really bad idea because, you know,
You're
it's
just trying
really,
to save birds.
Yeah, what are you, a bird
are
enthusiast?
birds even real?
Oh.
We haven't delved
Actually-
into it. We haven't done.
Yeah, we were saving that one for the year-end extravaganza, but maybe we should just go ahead and dive in. Are birds real?
Dude, I'm gonna. This is gonna sound weird to you, and I apologize to offend you. I think birds are real.
Look, everybody's entitled to their opinion, no matter how stupid it might be.
I can't
Peter,
get
are
behind
birds real?
every conspiracy. Yeah, go ahead, Peter.
With every bird that I've seen blood, bones, and
You've seen
no
blood in every bird
robotics.
that you've seen.
Yeah, every bird that I've killed,
How many birds have you killed?
multiple,
Okay.
more than 2.
Songbirds?
Big birds.
This is crazy. This is crazy. All right. Won't be giving you any more BB guns.
Oh, I don't use BB guns.
Use my hands.
Hey, have you guys ever killed a chicken?
Yes.
No, but I'm about to.
Very much I have.
I have 8 in the backyard that I got. They're not laying eggs right now.
Are they meat chickens?
No,
You
but
know,
I don't care.
But
Dan's
Ben,
having
you
the same
have?
problem you're having.
What?
Chickens aren't laying eggs for Dan, too. He's
Yeah.
about to chop his up, too.
Isn't it something with the feed?
What?
Haven't you seen? Yeah, no. There's like a something with the feed of like 2 years ago that was like jacking up all
Yeah,
the chickens.
I knew that was a thing, but I don't think that
It's just cold or
it's
something.
still a thing. Yeah, I think that
They're
it's
stressed or something.
something. I know that a lot of people are having that issue, but
So weird.
dude, this is how 2027 happens. The eggs stop
Starts
laying.
with the eggs.
It always starts with the eggs.
A children of men situation?
Ben, how many chickens have you killed?
A more than one, less than 10.
Cool.
Somewhere in that range.
Cool.
How do you do it? You use a kill cone, or do you
Legitimately-
just like grab it and snap it?
Legitimately, we took like a log that had been cut with a chainsaw.
Like it?
two nails, one bent over, and then, dude, if it's that sensitive, we need new microphones. And we would pin the chicken's head down between the 2 nails, and the one that's bent over, curve it over their head, and then machete that thing clean off, dude.
Is that the way that you're supposed to do it?
That's
or
the way I did it as a 12-year-old.
Yeah, because there was no, you didn't Google it, right? You
No,
just
I
like,
just Google.
There was no Google when he was
Dude,
12.
I was that we're talking about like 19.
dude, I had an
This
awful.
is Ask
I mean,
Jeeves.
2000.
I had an awful experience killing a chicken. It was just like I did not do it right, but we didn't Google it beforehand. I mean, there's a whole thing to it, but like I thought you're supposed to snap its neck, and then I didn't know how
Probably
to.
are.
I didn't know how to pluck it or anything, but I feel like it's a cool thing to.
Everyone should
To
do
me,
it.
I feel like you do it. I don't want to kill chickens all the time, but I want to know how to do it. I want to know where the chickens.
It's a good skill.
Yeah.
There's a farm not too far from here that they have chickens that they use for meat, and they also have some for eggs and stuff. But they butcher their own chickens, and they refuse to use like machinery to do it because the dude's a Christian and he wants to like not have his workers like not take the taking of life for granted, so that they're actually like,
Dude, that's crazy.
isn't that cool? Or
Man, that's kind of
sadistic?
deep, though. That's
Yeah.
kind of deep. Is like the more that we take out, like the further we get away from killing the chickens. Like you don't even realize that you're eating a dead animal,
Right.
right?
Well, that was like a process in my deer, and Amanda was like seeing it from start to finish, and she's like, I just, you
It
never
makes
think
you
about
appreciate
it. Yeah,
it.
exactly.
It's sad. I mean, this cute little chicken. I don't want to kill it, but like it makes you
They're
appreciate
not
what you
cute.
eat.
They're little
They're
monsters.
disgusting.
They can be pretty cute.
They're scary.
Some of them are cute.
They attack you when you're a child walking
do,
by.
you, do you guys have nice chickens?
I have fine chickens, but I don't think they're cute.
Any nice roosters?
I don't have a rooster.
No, there's no such thing.
You
as
got
nice
attacked by a
Yeah, I
rooster.
got attacked by a
Me
rooster.
too.
Did it have
Man.
spurs?
No, that wasn't the way I got attacked.
Yeah, tell
I got attacked.
Wait,
by-
which neighborhood is this?
Well, you know which neighborhood this is. Walking by the pen, we had they were inside of a chain link fence area.
Age?
I was probably approaching that 12-year-old age where I started lopping their heads off. And I was like walking by a chain link fence, and he sticks his head in one of the diamonds of the fence through to grab my hand with his little beak, the back of my hand, and he peels a flap of skin off the back
Are
of
you
my
serious?
hand. Yeah.
Oh my
So
God.
I'm like bleeding all over the place, and I was bringing them like bread scraps, and that's how I get paid back for that. So I go in there and I just kick that thing so stinking hard, and then I went and started doing some chainsawing, got myself a couple nails.
Dude, so Dan was telling me like you can throw a whole like rotisserie chicken, you throw the whole carcass in there, and they'll just dispose of it all.
Even the bones?
Even the bones. Like they'll leave nothing left. So I was experimenting, so I tried it, and there was no carcass left.
Wow.
But that night I went into reach to get the eggs, and they started like attacking my hand.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, no more meat for you guys. That's terrible. They turn into dinosaurs like that.
Yeah.
There's always one that, like the dark red one, that always hates me. It either chases me or just doesn't move whenever I try and get the eggs.
Yeah, you just gotta give it a little push. But
No, I do.
okay,
And it'll bite me.
yeah,
I just glitched.
it happens.
Anyway, I hate roosters. I used to get attacked by the talons. It was terrifying.
Were they large?
Dude, they were huge, man. And wasn't it? I'm butchering this. I'm totally butchering this. This is embarrassing. Wasn't it like Benjamin Franklin or somebody wanted the U.S. bird to be a rooster?
Turkey.
Turkey, yeah,
Was it a turkey? Is it because they're like fearless or something?
They're super smart.
No, it's because they're
And they're also
fearless.
not ridiculous scavengers that are just disgusting.
Why
like
would he want a
eagles are.
turkey?
Easy.
Look, eagles are
Oh
overrated.
no.
You know what? You know what? You're right. I forgot about Lord of the Rings.
Beautiful.
They are not overrated. In
Eagles.
fact, they should be the thing you lead with in most situations.
Your nerd is showing. I saw 2 bald eagles the
It's
other day.
impressive, too,
I was
isn't it?
very pumped. I was
Together?
sending-
Were they together?
No, it was in 2 different spots.
Was it close to a river? I feel like that's wherever I see.
Yeah,
it.
it was near the Potomac.
Yeah, that's
The
cool.
Potomac. Sorry.
Potomac.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well-
so wait, what sound does an eagle make? Because I hear hold on. So I hear like a
Caw-caw.
hawk, and it makes that sound that I think an eagle
Right.
makes, but that's
Screech.
not what an eagle makes.
That's not what it. How?
Give me your best eagle impersonation.
It's like a.
just don't think about it.
Pretty good.
It's like a high pitch like a trill
Are you
thing.
sure?
Yeah.
Caw-caw.
So like you were saying,
Not what I've seen a lot of eagles. I don't know what they sound like.
I
that's-
do, and I'll show you right now.
Yeah, show
dude.
me.
Do you listen to the Nate Land podcast?
I hear lots of birds. I guess that's it.
It's
Yeah,
way
well,
they often will use red tail hawk noises for eagle noises in movies because they sound so much cooler.
That's the one that sounds like Steve. Give it to me.
Yeah.
No,
Like a screaming eagle.
Yeah.
No.
It's like a crazy noise.
Shoot.
That's it.
Yeah, closer to that.
Yeah.
Different.
But better.
Yeah.
But better.
Yeah.
Dude, I was listening to the Nate Land podcast and they brought that up. I thought that was fascinating.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We all know that.
because we
now.
all think that that's how. Because that's what they do in the movies.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the screaming eagle is actually just a red
it's
tail
just disappointing that that's not
hawk.
what
It
an eagle
sounds
actually
more like
sounds
a seagull.
Yeah. Weird.
Still majestic. I won't take it back.
But I thought it was a rooster because a rooster.
This is
the
a
US
red-tailed
bird.
hawk.
yeah,
That's cool.
That's a screaming
That's
eagle.
so cool.
Yeah, that's red-tailed hawk.
Yeah. So, but I thought a rooster because a rooster's fearless, and that's how I like growing up. Like this rooster was just not terrified of anything, and it would see me 50 feet away and come after me. Did you ever encounter that rooster?
Not that I remember.
It was my neighbor's rooster, but yeah, I mean, it would come, it would see you and like come at full on attack mode every day.
Is this the
And
same
it was a
neighbor
huge rooster.
that had exotic pets?
Like zebras?
They bordered that. It's like kinda, but no. When they moved in, the exotic pets were in a different field. So no.
Oh, okay. Can you tell like your best exotic pet story?
So exotic pets, they're not that crazy, but yeah, I grew up next to zebras and then camels, and I don't know. I mean, like water buffalo. Like I feel like you don't see that a whole lot.
No,
but
not around
No,
here.
dude.
yeah. So to me, the water buffalo were like normal, and
They're not bison. It's like water buffalo from Africa.
dude, I think they had some bison too, but no, it was straight up water buffalo. But I didn't think anything of it. I mean, just growing up, that was kind of normal. And but we had zebras and camels. We always thought that was like really cool. And then they had zonkies, which is pretty funny. But the zebras, I mean, the best story would be like this is when I was really little. But we went outside and like my dad and I were gonna go play catch or something outside, and we just walk in the backyard and there's just a zebra just strolling around, eating the grass or doing whatever they do.
In your yard.
Yeah, in our
Yeah,
backyard. It was like really weird to see that. But it's kind of cold, so I don't think zebras did very well. But they tried. I mean, they
Have to
had
get
them.
new ones every
I
year.
think they had them for like a decade.
Credit for trying, man.
And then the zonkey stuck around for a while because he was, bred more to be
Yeah.
to deal
Peter,
with the
what is
weather.
a zonkey?
Donkey and zebra baby.
There you go.
Dude, that's kind of crazy. A donkey and a zebra baby.
Yeah, you don't get
Like
that
when?
with...
Oh, question. Like when do people? This is weird. But like they bred those two. I feel like they're pretty different. Like someone just tried to breed those animals. I wouldn't expect it to work. Do you know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah. No, so I think that for me, Liger is the craziest one. Because it's like, we only have one cage. Throw them both in there. It's kind of fine. Nothing's going to happen.
So people breeding animals like
cross species breeding.
what have they tried?
What's the
It's
limit?
like, nope, didn't work.
Like,
I know
you
some
know,
crazy stuff that they've tried.
at some point, someone's tried a hippo and a rhino. You know it's going to happen.
A rippo.
I was trying the other way. I was like
A rippopotamus.
a hypno. No, that's a Pokemon. That didn't work.
Now,
A rippopotamus is good.
yeah.
Dude, that is the scariest thing. Just a hippo with that giant mouth, but he's got a giant sword on it. And he's armored.
But dude, people have tried some weird, like, and I don't know if it's weird because if it works, it's like, oh, that's cool. That's a zonkey.
right.
It's not cool.
If it doesn't work, it's weird.
Like, if you were to try, what's one animal that
I love that.
you've never heard of it happening? Like, what's one that you think that they should try?
Like one that might work.
Like a wolf hyena hybrid.
That's got to be possible.
You'd think.
A starfish seahorse.
Dude, that is a star in the
Right?
making.
Wouldn't that be amazing? Anything with an octopus would be sweet.
That's disgusting. Don't talk to
Are
me
you
about that.
kidding me?
Dude, a shark and a sharktopus?
A sharktopus? That shark could fit through tiny little holes in
Oh
fences
my
to get
gosh.
to people.
And it crawls like those giant jaws
Yeah.
on 8 legs.
Like a raccoon and a cat.
That's a thing.
You'll get a
It's called a
raccoon.
civet cat.
Wait, what?
They
That's
yeah,
not
they-
a real thing.
Well, it's
See, it's close though, right?
It's
like
close.
a raccoon.
So,
and a
like,
cat,
I think you have to
it
have
could
it,
be
like-
possible.
Like zebra and a donkey and a horse are all the equine family or whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, we're starting to get a little Darwin, like the
Evolution.
interspecies of like, but you're right. It has to be in the same family, I guess.
Right.
It's just weird to think about.
What's your go-to? Like, you're not going to be able to do like a squirrel and a cobra.
No, and this is the whole Darwinian. Like, this is why evolution doesn't work. It's
Explain.
because you can't.
This is
You
a
can't
civ- this
jump
is-
out of
no
your family.
interlocking. Yeah, you can't jump out
This
of the
is
family.
a civet cat. And this is what they use to make what they call civet coffee. I don't know if you know about this.
They
where
milk it?
No, they let the cat creature thingy, raccoony looking thing, eat the beans and process the beans.
That's
And then they
disgusting.
brew the excrement, and it's civet coffee, and it's supposed to be like no acid. It's like supposed to be delicious.
That's so gross. to
It's
me.
amazing that you know that.
Thank you.
That's pretty deep, man. But like, wait, what? It's a civet cat.
civet.
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 So
or
what
IT?
is a civet cat?
That was that.
It's like
animal I just showed you.
a tiny
What does
It's just
leopard.
a-
mean?
It looks like a cat, raccoon, cheetah thingy.
Yeah, that looks crazy.
Yeah.
Another thing is like with those cross animal species, they can't breed, right?
Yeah, dude, that's amazing. You're right. I
Like
don't think they
mules
can.
can't breed, Zorses can't
But
breed,
why is
Ligers
that?
because it's an abomination. You know,
It wasn't supposed to work.
it's not how God intended.
Yeah, it's not how God intended
He
it.
said,
Also known as Kopi Luwak.
Oh, yeah.
Or Kopi Luwak.
The missing link. Like this is like the missing link stuff.
"You're right.
Right. I mean, this is definitely far down the rabbit hole. But
I don't want to look at that. I
me
don't know
see.
what that is. but
It's the beans.
that's so gross.
dude, that's so cool. I would try it.
I've tried it.
You tried
I've had it.
bean water?
It's delightful.
There's no way you've tried that.
No, there's no way.
Then this is. I'm going back. Like, how did someone find out that worked and
I
that
moved
like
you.
is good? I don't know.
Dude,
It's
I
just
think,
weird.
I think
people are weird.
People get real weird.
People are weird. People experiment with stuff, and sometimes it works.
Cobra Lion.
Not bad. Not bad. Now it's getting interesting.
I meant to say Scorpion Lion, but Cobra came out, and I don't know why that happened to me.
Scorpion lion.
Yeah, dude. That's like a.
Have you ever seen a scorpion?
It's the chimera thing from Greek mythology.
Jace, have you ever seen a scorpion?
No, but we were talking about scorpions today because
Nice.
my wife is terrified of snakes. Terrified.
Yeah.
She hates snakes, but she grew up with like scorpions all around. I grew up with snakes all around. I'm
In
not that
Colorado?
scared of snakes. Yeah,
They have scorpions in Colorado.
yeah. She would see them all the time.
Wow.
And she's not that. She thinks
It's
they're
like a bee
normal.
sting, right?
Are you? Isn't it like a bee sting like times 10?
I think it depends on the
Dude,
scorpion.
some-
Dude, they look mean, man.
Depending on what bee you get stung by, it could
Yeah.
be a bee sting.
What
times
would you be
10.
more nervous about? Is coming across a scorpion that's like too close, or a snake that's too close?
Snake, 100%.
Really?
100%.
No,
I've never been.
I'm more scared of a scorpion.
So this is what's
Me too.
crazy.
I feel like because we grew up with snakes.
You have been bit by snakes several times.
the fear of what that's like is gone for me.
That's so crazy to me. I don't.
I know what it is. It's
It's
no
like-
longer scary.
What
That is.
snakes?
I don't know anyone that's been bit by a snake except for you and then some dude in Costa Rica that almost died. That
Dude,
was
my
buddy.
dad got those black snakes it wrapped around his leg,
Uh-huh.
like the constricting snakes
Yeah.
around here. Like the black snakes that we see are a lot of times they're constricting.
Why
ones.
do constrictors?
Yeah,
But
if
it
you
constricted.
hold 'em,
he was
they'll go around
he
your
was
arm.
mowing the lawn, and I don't know how it happened, but it's kind of funny and it's
That's
terrifying to think
crazy.
about. But it wrapped around his leg and then bit him, and then it took him like way too long to get it off his leg.
So like constrictors don't freak me out.
Why?
It biting you,
Yeah,
it
that's
does.
the scariest thing.
Dude, that's way scarier than. That's like the most terrifying thing
Dude,
ever.
it's gonna
Then they start
inject
eating
its
you whole.
poison into you.
It doesn't. They don't always have poison.
Okay, but
Venom.
It's venom. Sorry, venom. But constricting, it just makes me think I'm at
Jason
a
raised
Rite
his hand.
Aid.
Jason raised his hand.
Anacondas. They don't have. I'm certain they don't have venom, right? Because
Right.
that'd be too much. Because they're
Dude, okay.
It'd be too-
Anaconda Cobra mix.
Yeah, here we are
You
worried
know-
about like gain of function research, but really what we should be worrying about is the hybrids.
Yeah.
Wait, that wouldn't work
Why not?
because anacondas have live babies.
So do
They
cobras.
don't lay eggs.
Dude,
no,
Peter-
cobras lay
Peter,
eggs.
This is why
You are
you
a
don't come on the
genius.
podcast.
Get out.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Anacondas have live babies.
I'm
And
pretty
cobras
sure.
have eggs.
How big do the babies come out?
I don't know, but they have like up to 40
Okay,
babies at
fine.
a time.
Anaconda copperhead mix because copperheads have live babies.
I'm not. Are we gonna move on from live babies? What other snakes have the live babies?
Copperheads, like I just said.
How do you guys know this stuff?
Because I know because I saw a copperhead and it was really, really thick,
I
and
read
it's because
books.
they give live babies.
I read a lot of books.
I need to go back to like high school, like science class. But like, isn't that? I thought they're supposed to lay eggs, right? Oh gosh, dude,
Dude, yeah,
we
I don't
need
know.
to delete the last like minute on this podcast because I don't know. I forget how it works. I forget.
So I think I was with you But the older I'm getting, our classifications and rudimentary explanations of what these animals are just so outdated and antiquated. Dang it! I almost had it.
Almost got there, dude. That
still
was
impressive.
so good until the last. Yeah, nice.
But like
dude.
the platypus is just a big middle finger to Darwin. There's no explanation. Like, let's have a mammal, but he also swims, and he also lays eggs, and he's also poisonous, and he also has a duck beak.
He's
What are you gonna
Is he
do?
poisonous?
Yeah, dude, they
Yeah.
got poison quills.
Nah, quills. They've got a big spur on their ankle.
They also have poison quills.
Quills.
Yeah, dude.
It's so cool you guys know this stuff.
Yeah, a lot of Kratz creatures on my end, and a lot of
Let me-
wild Kratz on his end.
Let me just tell you why, or other things about them too. Though you'll be wildly disappointed in the stuff that they don't know.
I better.
Any
It's gonna be like a
examples?
back of a baseball card of someone in '92.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
that's exactly what it was.
Wait, so do you get a lot of your information? You said you read books.
Yeah.
What kind of books?
I don't know. Actually, there's just a bunch of different books on animals in my room.
Dude,
Before-
that's so cool,
years
man.
old.
Is that something that you like want to do? Or like,
No.
are you interested in
Before
just
you
like
think
studying it?
he's a nerd, he's the
I don't
leading
think he's a nerd.
scorer
That's
on
very
his
cool.
basketball
Yeah.
team, and there are
Yeah.
4 games in. He's killing it.
Public school.
Got no,
Dude,
it's
you
private.
can be into science
Right.
and then also into
That's
basketball.
my point. I'm just saying, I'm still proud of him, even though he knows all these things.
Dude, I see on my social media, like it says like 10 years ago, you were doing this or whatever. There's so many times, it was I guess like 12 years ago, there's so many times we took pictures of dinosaurs and
Yeah.
made sure Steve knew about it.
was a big deal.
Yeah, it was a big deal.
Dude, did you listen to the Sean?
But dude, the older I get, the cooler I think dinosaurs are.
Did you listen to the Sean episode we had a couple weeks back?
Sean.
Okay.
No, I heard it was a good one. I heard you guys had fun.
Wait, which one? The
We did.
first one or the second
Quick
one?
recap.
The second one. We just talked a lot about dinosaurs, and Sean, like Peter, is good at everything that he does, and he knows more about dinosaurs than I do, and he's just so intelligent about it. So it was fun to like nerd out and let Ben be like the idiot, and like he was the uncool one for not knowing a lot about dinosaurs.
It was cool.
It was so fun.
That is cool.
It was just
I don't know much about dinosaurs.
Shout out
but
to
I
Sean.
appreciate them.
yeah.
I think it's cool to learn all that stuff.
Do you know what's crazy? Archaeology only started in the 1800s. Like we never studied the past
Isn't there something like
until 200 years ago.
George Washington wouldn't have known that dinosaurs existed because they didn't find dinosaur bones until after his presidency or whatever?
There's something like that. But
Dude, that's crazy.
Middle Ages, like they saw dinosaur bones, and that's why people think they're all
Sure
the
they did.
dragon lore and stuff.
And you think that's what giant bones are? They're dinosaur bones?
No, I think giant bones are giant bones hidden by the Rithmonian.
Well, the archaeology thing is like, it takes a lot of money to do archaeology, like, right? Or I guess people's interest.
Yeah.
But to be able to go uncover something, like people are just trying to survive. They're just trying to have
Right.
like jobs.
Yeah.
And it's like, was it in the U.S. that it started archaeology, or
No, I think it comes down to Napoleon going into Egypt and seeing the Great Pyramids and stuff. And then he sent people in to be like, dude, study these things. What's
dude?
going on
I'm
with them?
certain you guys have covered the pyramids in these podcasts.
Yeah, but the problem is it's such a huge topic.
It's such a huge...
I mean,
that-
it just blows my mind that like you read Old Testament scripture and it's like you think like Abraham or somebody's going through Egypt and it's like, dude, the pyramids are already there.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Jesus would
Yeah.
have seen the Great Pyramids. That's bonkers.
That is bonkers.
Wait, other than his early life, he went to Egypt?
Well, he grew up in Egypt.
For how long, though? Because it
From, like-
mostly mentions Nazareth, right?
Right. So I think it's in Luke that he goes to Egypt and then he comes back as a young boy. But yeah, the other gospels don't say anything about Egypt, which is interesting. But it's important that he did go to Egypt because there's a lot of Old Testament prophecy about who the Messiah was going to be and that he would come out of Egypt. And it was also interesting because he would come out of Bethlehem. And it was also interesting because he would come out of like Judea or Nazareth type area. So a lot of the Jews think there are going to be several prophets or several messiahs because there are so many different conflicting things. And the fact that Jesus hit them all was like insane.
That's wild.
It's just cool though to think about. I know the pyramid topic is huge.
Sorry. Yeah.
But the pyramid like how we just still don't understand it all, and it's just humbling for us now with all of our AI world. We think we know everything, but like we still don't know how that was done. And that's like, it's just a building. I mean, it's just like, but how did they do it? And,
right. That's the thing. It also might not just be a building.
Right, and then it's so weird, and just can't help it. But it's so weird that it's like also in Mexico they have pyramids.
Yeah.
And they're like,
Right.
dude, what's going on?
And they're both lined up
And then-
exactly under Orion's belt and stuff.
I wanted to ask you, when you're talking about Jesus in Egypt, do you think any of the hieroglyphs are describing things that Jesus did?
No, I think the hieroglyphs predate Jesus.
I would say that those were ancient by the time Jesus was around.
Yeah.
Just like we think.
So they
Get
all
into it.
came. The hieroglyphs came from the same era and then just stopped, and they never had any past.
So they I mean, you say the same era, but to your point, like for us, looking back to Jesus was ancient. To Jesus, it would have been even
Longer
longer to go to
times that they were built.
stuff. So
Yeah.
it could have been for 3,000 years that they're using hieroglyphs, and then slowly it morphs into whatever
Written
the
word.
Sanskrit or whatever they're writing in and stuff. And so that's why finding the what was the
Dead Sea Scrolls.
the Rosetta Stone, because it was like hieroglyph
right.
as well as cuneiform as well as whatever Aramaic or whatever it was. It's the same inscription, so we were able to decode all the hieroglyphs from that reason. So
Right.
there was some overlay, but I do think by Jesus' time they weren't
Already
using,
really old.
yeah.
It's just amazing.
It's
it
so
doesn't make
cool.
sense. We need like Elon Musk to stop focusing on going to Mars for like a year.
And killing
And
our
then
stadium
hey,
plans.
let's just killing stadium plans.
If it passed.
Dude, and he was wrong about that, which is kind of funny. But
Yeah. Well, he retweeted someone who was wrong.
okay.
Someone else tweeted
I mean,
it and-
still, it was.
but yeah.
It's weird that it like made it into that giant building.
Right.
But going back to pyramids, the pyramids. I wish. I mean, we were like trying to go to Mars, but like it'd be kind of cool if we could go back and figure out how that was done. But maybe people don't care.
Or map the ocean. We could do that. Maybe it's boring.
Yeah, I mean, is it worth
I think
it?
the answer is pretty clear as to why they haven't, and you know that they have. They just don't.
To bring us back to the USOs, which
Well, they don't want to reveal the fact that they already know where Atlantis is, and they don't want to.
do we know
you
about?
guys, conspiracies are amazing.
Do you know what the Atlantis
I'm
thing?
trying to
I'm
pick it up
here
as
for
I'm
most
going.
of them, but
They found Atlantis. It's in Africa. Do you know about this?
So you don't think it's Sardinia?
I don't know what Sardinia is.
Okay.
But they found Atlantis. I can do a deep dive in it, but it's fascinating. They talk about the Plutonic writings about Atlantis.
Can you do
and
it
they
in
found
8 minutes?
No, I don't have all that. Okay, so yeah, I can. It's kind of like
do it. Do a little brushing up on it, because I'd actually like to get really into that.
Okay.
I would like to ask you questions, and if you're more prepared, that'd be more fun.
All right,
So tune in maybe some other time, and we'll get into Atlantis.
we'll get into Atlantis.
Oh, we will.
But it's like, yeah, it's cool. It's like in the middle of the desert now, which is interesting, but not to ruin it.
you sound very confident that it's real.
Well, I found it, so
On
yeah.
Wikipedia.
Exactly. We're not mapping the oceans because that's where all the drones are coming from, because that's where this other species of intelligent life lives. They may or may not be octopi. I've seen them do some crazy things. And that they're aliens.
So are you guys? I don't mean to ask like a crazy question, but like if you had to say yes or no, aliens are real, where do you land?
It
depend-
We say the same thing every time. It depends how you define what an alien is. Like what we're seeing in the sky, is that whatever that is that an alien? Because he might fall on that's an interdimensional being, angels, demons,
More spiritual.
more spiritual. Is it somebody from deep space? That's where it gets a little weird.
Yeah, no, I'm speaking to deep space.
Deep space. I'm less likely to say that there's any kind of thing going on in deep space. Deep space.
Yeah,
If
I
somebody, I don't know. I'd like to hear what Steven says.
just think space is. I have a very different worldview than you do.
Right? You don't believe the Bible's real,
Right. That's whatever you say. I think that the world or the universe is so massive.
Yeah, it's huge.
It's
And
almost like a
and it's
scientific-
still expanding.
Right. Theoretically.
Well, and also biblically.
Okay. It's almost a scientific impossibility that there isn't another planet that sustains life that has some kind of intelligent design. Stars, not even to mention the planets that orbit the stars, but the number of stars that we can see in the observable universe is like 2.5 times 10 to the 23rd power. And that's just stars. And that's the only ones that we can see. And so like,
And that literally means nothing to me because the number's too big.
right. So
A lot of zeros.
That's
10
crazy.
10 to the 9th power is like if you were given $1,000 every hour since Jesus was born until now, you wouldn't even be halfway to $1 billion.
Wait, is that real?
Yeah.
Say that again.
If you were
say that
given
again.
like $1,000 every 3 hours from Jesus' birth till
Wait,
now,
wait, you changed it.
Yeah, you did.
Did I-
change
what'd
it.
I say before?
He
You
said
said 1
every
hour.
hour, but go ahead. Every
Okay.
3 hours.
yeah, you wouldn't even be halfway to $1 billion.
That's crazy.
It's something like that,
That
where
is
it's like
wild.
unbelievable. And so just the numbers are so insane that like, and I don't know. I think that God is very capable of having us and dying for us, but also having other planets that he can also be God to. And there's a part in the Bible, Jesus says something about like, I have to go tend to my other sheep. They're not like you. They're different sheep or something. And he could be talking about something else.
Where are you reading this stuff, man? That's
Dude, that's 100%. Look it up.
Dang.
I read it and I was like, what? No one ever talks
Yeah,
about
yeah.
it, but he does talk about it. And it could be when he's talking about going into Sheol or whatever. So I don't want to speculate, but
But you do.
but I do
But you
enjoy
do wanna
speculating so
speculate.
much.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. So I think 100% there could be life on another planet, and that doesn't negate who God is or what he did for us. But I mean, I don't know. Who could know? Who could know? And by the time we get to a point where we can know, we're not going to care, which sucks.
Why?
Because when we get to heaven, all we're going to care about is being in God's presence and stuff. We're not
So
going
you're
to care
saying
about.
It's not something that we can even know this side of eternity.
I don't think we're going. I mean, maybe we do. Maybe there's an alien invasion, and it's. I mean, the only way that we can find out is if we find aliens. But
it's kind of selfish for like us as humans to think aliens even care about us to like come visit, right? And we're just like, oh, there's aliens, like, oh, they're coming to take over the world, and we're like,
Rogan
we're
talks
not a
about
big
that all the
deal,
time.
man. Like they could go across.
we can
the-
barely hop off of our planet to get
Yeah,
to the
we-
Some people don't even think you can get to the moon. So
Rogan looks at it like this: wouldn't they be the most fascinated by us? Because like we study ants, we study things that aren't even like a factor in anything that we have in our daily lives.